Guys, make sure you listen to this full version of the podcast on Acast. It is available now. Make sure you check it out. Vibe with 5. Rio, Joel, and Steve.
It's a 5 with 5, 5 with 5, and you already know this.
I done a game the other day, and I talked about it. It kind of got clipped up, and I've seen it online. I saw cage Sancho again. Did anyone see it? Did they see Sancho from the cage? He was out again
for Dortmund, outplaying the likes of Kylian Mbappe against PSG. Madness.
And I know, and that Steve's comment straight away will be, and I can see it running through his head. It's only one game. I get it, and I understand, and I agree. It's only one game, but I do like to get carried away, and everyone knows that every now and again. I got carried away with Jadon's performance because all it done was just tell me and just made me feel nice inside and warm inside that actually it's still there. Because a lot of people,
I got a solution.
Go on.
What we're going to do is we're going to get Jim Ratcliffe on the phone, and you're going to go and negotiate the deal for us on Manchester United's behalf for him to go to Dortmund this year, because I think you're going to get our money back.
Do you reckon? I reckon I could as a negotiator, done 100%.
You're going to go sell him an absolute dream. You're just going to put like Rocky Tune music over the highlights of that PSG game and just be like, look at him. And then before you know it, 75 mil.
You know what? It was just nice to see for young kids to see, listen, you can have adversity. 2.5 years he's not played and kicked the ball as well as we've seen that game. Like he had more take-ons in the first half than in any game at Man United in 2.5 years. Like it was unreal, the difference, right? Just a bit of confidence, just a bit of TLC, maybe a bit of care and love, bit of attention. Maybe the environment suits him better. I don't know what it is, right? Only Jadon knows that. But it just shows you it can go wrong for you sometimes, but then you can have a little comeback. Now, listen, we need to see this now over a period of time. I get that. But just to see that glimpse gave me a little bit of hope and go, you know what? But the big question is, with Man United, what do Man United do? So I know for 100%, like all of us are sitting there watching that game. The recruitment team of Man United now, the new guys, Jason Wilcox, Dan Ashworth, who's incoming at some point, all the guys will be there sitting in their teams and going, right, what the hell do we do with this kid Sancho? Because he's played the Champions League semi-final against a talented bunch of players at PSG and was outstanding and was the best player on the pitch. Are we going to let that go? So what they have to do is go, right, what are the issues here? What's going on behind the scenes at Man United? Is it him? Is he not? Can he not play in the Premier League at this pace and intensity? Is he not athletic enough? We've got to answer all those questions. Or is there an issue? Has there been an issue? Or was it just a timing in his life? Was there stuff going on behind the scenes that we're unaware of that we need to investigate and find out about that as to why he maybe was unhappy and it was affecting his performances? Or was it the manager? Was it the manager who just couldn't get it out of him? Was it the manager's fault? Was it the way that the manager handled this situation? Was it that the manager didn't show him the attention and care? Or was the manager showing more favoritism to other players and allowing bad performances that peed Jadon Sancho off? All these questions need to be answered, right? I'm not saying what's what here. I'm just putting them all out on the table. But Ineos's job is to find out the answers to all those questions and then make a decision. Because there's no doubt in there's talent here. But why hasn't he done that in a Man United shirt? That's the biggest question that he's answering.
I think the problem is if you bring him back, if Ineos bring him back over Ten Hag without him apologising, that's the end of Ten Hag. You completely undermined him as a manager. So I think this all could have been solved with what feels like a grown-up conversation between the two of them over a year ago. But that
it can still be solved. Grown men.
Maybe it can. He's going to need...
Steve, all it needs is come on. Jadon, get in here. Come here now. Oi, Eric, get in here. Shake hands, say sorry, get the cameraman on the side, cut the cameras, hug, embrace. We're back. We're back on track. Ineos have made
back on the bench for Anthony to just fuck about with it next weekend. Toys will be launched.
I think it's been made difficult because of Ten Hag, man. All of this apologizing in public, like it seems like the terms are just mad. It didn't need to be as mad as it was,
Well, when you put it out publicly, the apology has to be as public as the disrespect.
Sometimes yes, but sometimes you got to do what's best for the actual team and not for your own ego. So Rio, I want to ask, what are you listening to on your playlist? Because you've just come from the baddest wedding that I've seen in my whole life. What is on your playlist since then?
I have to say, all I'm listening to at the moment is the battle between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. That's all I'm listening to at the moment. I don't know if Steve's into this. I don't know if Steve knows. His face expression is telling me he's not aware of it. But the hip hop world has been taken. Every group I'm in at the moment is going, other than the 5 group, is going mad about this Kendrick Lamar Drake beef.
Rio, who you got up at the moment?
Wait. Explain it in football terms.
Yeah. Ooh, it's like there's a team that's been on top for a very long time, and there's a lot of jealousy, and there's a team that
Man United.
Yeah.
2008.
Yeah.
It's got to be, I want to say United Liverpool, isn't it? Really?
Who, Kendrick?
Maybe?
Kendrick's not Liverpool.
What is he?
Is it a young little upstart with a load of dough? Is it Chelsea?
No. Kendrick's like a cult. He's a cult figure. He's like got a little cult following. He's not the masses, but he's he's respected.
Oh, it's not respected. It's not.
I think that's Liverpool.
I don't know who Kendrick is. He's respected. He's appreciated.
Tell us in the comments. Give it. Explain it to me in a football analogy.
Drake ain't Man United. Drake ain't Man United. I can't have Drake anyway because Drake tried to come to the Carrington one time years ago. Throw this up from the old 5 footage. He came and he was talking like he was an absolute mad Man United fan. So he gave me this story about, this is why I don't really believe some of the stuff he says, yeah, because he lied to me in my face. He said, "Oh, Rio, you know why I love Man United? My friend's in prison. He played FIFA so much when we were younger. His team was Man United. And I visited him in prison or whatever he said about that. So I had to follow my boy. And now I'm a Man United man till I die, man." Bro, about a month later, I see my man at Chelsea with Drogba in a Chelsea kit. Then I see him at Man City with Fernandinho or Aguero or someone like Balotelli or someone like that. Then I seen him in Madrid. Then I seen him with AC Milan. I've seen him at every single team that's doing well. He's been there.
Well, he's saying he's an OV-ho.
In terms of football, yeah.
More clubs than Tiger Woods.
Yeah, man, he let me down. So up until today, Kendrick's been smoking him. I've got to be honest, smoked him. Yeah, and all these young fans out there, they're not appreciating, don't understand. And they're just diehard Drake fans to the end. But he's been getting smoked. But he let out a tune today. The tune today. Woo!
I reckon that's the one. You know,
the old Drake. He took it back to the early mixtape Drake, and that's what I wanted to hear. Drake. Yes, timestamp. That's it. I want to go there because I don't think the five guys. There's only some guys who know on there.
Yeah, but wait, go on.
In the comments, I want to hear the comments. Who knows what's going on? Who they think's winning?
Finally, before we move on, what's happened to your guy J. Cole?
Bro, my man just came out with a peace sign. He just came out with a peace sign and said, "Guys, peace."
Oh man. Anyway, so that's what's on your playlist. Thank you very much. We're gonna add that up. So let's move it on now.
Before we go into the football, can you just talk about the wedding I've been at this weekend?
Talk to us, man.
I know you've all seen it. Bro, I've been to the wedding of the decade.
Wait, all Rio wants to do is talk about what he's been wearing. That's it, innit? Am I wrong? I'm not wrong, am I?
More about what my missus has been wearing. She's been smoking, boy. Whoa. No. I've been James Bond. The people that are doing casting for James Bond have been on because they saw me in the.
The black. I saw the black suit still. Yeah. I like the Indian one. You know.
Yeah, the Indian one was made by a company called BB London. They're sick. Shout out BB London and Ralph Lauren with a black tux. I've never put a black tux on like it. The way it's sat on my shoulders. Woo.
Yeah.
Ralph Lauren purple range. Jesus. But you know what? The shades were crazy. But you know the wedding, man. I've been to some great weddings, man. My wedding was unreal. This just took the piss. I got to say, it was just too much. That every single moment when you thought, I'm going to put my knife and fork down and just really enjoy it, something else happened. And that Brian McKnight sung their first wedding song. Mariah Carey's banging out tune after tune live. Do you know what I mean? You got Ronan Keaton wasn't even there to sing, but just picked up the mic and said, "Let me just throw something down." Like, it was just crazy. There were comedians there. Like, it was just an absolute joke. Like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. You had some crazy, like Naomi Campbell, AJ, like loads of different random people, like billionaires everywhere. Everywhere you walked and looked, there was security. No detail was left to chance. Like, the hotel was taken over in the south of France. This is one of the most expensive hotels I've ever been in. By the way, beautiful hotel. The setting was like fairy tale-esque type. But bro, me and my missus went back to the room, after the first night, and we were starving because the food we didn't eat nothing really until about 11 at night, and then about 3 in the morning we're back in the room clucking like everyone does. Rang room service. I was a bit drunk, don't worry. Few tequilas. So on the menu, I don't know. This is the most random request as well for food as well. I've got, babe, do you fancy a vegetable soup and chips? Yeah. She went, oh, that sounds lovely. Maddest combo. What's the maddest in the comments? Shout out the most maddest, randomest late night feast you've ordered on a room service. Let me know what it is. Mine was vegetable soup.
He was in the south of
France. Yeah, south of France, and I've ordered a vegetable soup. Even the guy taking the order said, pardon? Yeah. About 10 times. Vegetable soup and fries.
There was 1,000,000% a minute where he did this on the phone.
Yeah. He didn't know what was going on. Then all of a sudden it turned up about half an hour later, right? Signed the bill. I woke up in the morning and just you look at the things and what's going on. Where's everything? Looked at the side of the bill. How much do you reckon that was? 2 vegetable soups, 2 fries.
So you're getting that off because it's room service. What's the name of the hotel?
The Eden Rock Hotel.
65 euros.
65 euros.
Try 150.
No.
Mate, did you get a massage off the vegetable soup?
No.
Was it cold or something?
I swear the vegetable soup should have been feeding me the vegetable soup. It was, bro, it was mad. But I must say, the place
on the phone, like, excuse me.
It's one of the best hotels. Seriously, it's unreal. Anyway,
150 euros.
Not surprised if vegetable soup times 2's are 150. Christ.
Is that including drinks or not?
What?
Is that including drinks or not?
No, I'd finished drinking then. I was drinking the gesture water in the room at that point.
Yeah, that's a mistake. No.
Yeah, man. Anyway, let's go get back to football.
All right, cool. We've got to start off by giving Jude Bellingham his props, man. La Liga champion. The boy did it, man. 22 goals, 10 assists in his debut season. Key goals as well. Rio, what have you not said about Jude Bellingham, that you've already spoken about this season? Like, talk to me.
How many goals did Cristiano get in his first season and assists? Can we just check that out?
Let's check it out. Go on. You keep talking. I'll check it out.
Because we talk about impacts in your first season, and I'm struggling to remember in my mind a player that's gone in his first season and had such a huge impact on a team. For not only in terms of silverware at Real Madrid, but also in terms of just the presence when he's walked in there, just to be able to you got to bear in mind he went in there and you had Modric, Toni Kroos, you had Vinicius Jr. that's now become almost the attacking leader in the team. You've
33
got
and 35 for Ronaldo.
He scored 33.
So it's different. But in terms of going in, Ronaldo had a dressing room in there. He had the likes of Casillas, Raul, Ramos. He had some very experienced people in that dressing room as well. And I think it took him probably longer to win those guys over. It felt to me. It was almost like
Didn't win the league first season.
No, exactly. But I think it took him a little bit longer to win those players over.
Might have been third season that he won it.
I'm not sure.
That was Barcelona doing a bit of madness at the time, wasn't it?
I'm just talking about impact, though. I'm talking about the be able to go into a change room and everyone absolutely, to a man, buys into you and what you're bringing on and off the pitch. You see it in all the comments online, all the teammates backing everything he does. There's a camaraderie there that he's embraced straight away, and he's an absolute part of that as well. So off the pitch as well as on the pitch, he's just delivered, I think, almost a 10 out of 10 season. Because there were times, especially early in the middle part of the season, where he was actually carrying that team on his back in terms of goals, assists, and just a sheer presence in games and will to win. The back end of the season, I think he's probably tailed off a little bit in terms of his impact on games, and those experienced players like the Toni Kroos, the Vinicius, the Rodrigos have come in and really kind of dragged the team over the line. But I think he is, up until this last probably third of the season, he's been the best player in Europe. I don't think there's anyone been near him.
Has it been tailing off, or has it been teams have been needing to clamp him down because he's so deadly for them?
I don't know, but whatever happens, you've still got to find a way to still impact those games. So whatever, if teams have become more aware of him or whatnot, but fatigue could play a part. I'm not sure what it is, but he's not been as listen, every week we were turning up on this show going, listen, guys, by the way, got to mention Jude Bellingham, he just scored again. Just won them again, last minute goal. I mean, it was consistently happening all the time. It's more difficult now because this is the hard part of the season. It's harder part of the season where Champions League semi-finals and quarterfinals and the big games are coming now. They've won the league now. Pressure's off there. But I just think it's been an absolutely phenomenal first season out in Real Madrid. When you talk about the size and magnitude of the club that he's gone to and the way that he's taken to it, I think it's like nothing else we've seen before at Real Madrid.
Saying that, Rio, though, he still scored the winner in the El Clasico like a couple of weeks ago. Like, my man's
been... Yeah. See what I mean? Maybe my bar's too high because he set it so high now. I don't know.
It's crazy. I want to move it on, though, to Tottenham getting battered everywhere they go. That's 4 losses on the trot, bruv. Seriously. They've got Burnley next, and then they've got Man City afterwards, which I don't expect them to even try in. But going back to this game, losing to Liverpool 4-2. Ria, did you watch the game, or were you still coming back from?
I watched the game. I watched the game. Yeah, they actually the first 5-10 minutes, I thought, they're in for a game, Liverpool here, and then Liverpool the momentum shifted again, and then Spurs, you can see there's a lack of confidence because they couldn't actually react to that shift in momentum. And sometimes you get rocked in games and you can stir to your feet and get back into it, but Spurs never looked like they could do that. And I think that the games recently have really knocked them for 6. And confidence is shot.
Yeah, man, it's getting slapped up in London derbies. I thought these guys said that Ange's the guy, or they could be challenging. It's all gone wrong. You can't be getting slapped up in London derbies back to back. What's going on, Spurs fans? Where you at? Expressions. Happy Summers.
Come in the comments.
Please let us know. And also,
well, they did all right after winning the league in October, didn't they? It was obviously going to be hard to maintain that after winning the league so early.
It's something in the Waterstea in North London, isn't it?
Yeah. They hate champagne.
The hate is real. We're going to talk about us soon anyway. But I want to say Mo Salah, after getting into an argument with Klopp last week on the touchline, people were livid, saying, "Oh, how could he do that?" He responds, man. He responds on the pitch.
Can I just say something about Mo Salah? I think he's been disrespected recently. I've seen a lot of comments about him. I've seen people talking about him, caning him. But I don't think there's been a debate that Mo Salah's been world class for a number of years. Maybe this season he's tailed off. But I think in his pomp years at Liverpool, absolutely world class. Real Madrid only win that Champions League final because he come off injured. Up until that moment, he come off injured. Liverpool were a team on the front foot. As soon as he come off the pitch, everything changed. Like this, his numbers are flipping off the charts.
He's got 25 goals this season for a player.
I don't understand it. It's unbelievable. Like it's absolutely Mo Salah. I think has been so disrespected. I'm seeing who was it? Was it Graham Souness? And they got a new podcast. Graham Souness, Troy Deeney, and Simon Jordan. I couldn't believe the disrespect I was seeing about him. I couldn't believe that they were talking about him like he's just any guy. Like I think he's been absolutely world class. You can't do them because they'll sit there and they'll say Harry Kane's world class over the years. Mo Salah's numbers will be similar around Harry Kane, or maybe a little bit less. I'm not sure, right? Over the last 6 or 7 years, right? But Mo Salah's been winning things. He's won leagues. He's won Champions Leagues. He's won trophies across the board while doing that. He's playing at the top
level. He's
up
on the plural of those, though, Rio. He's won a league. He's won a Champions League.
He's won a league. Yeah. Okay, a league, a Champions League, etc. But what I'm saying is, you can't. I don't know how you can debate if Mo Salah has been world class at any point in his career at Liverpool.
200 goals in 7 seasons.
It's off the scale to even question him. I don't care. It's mad. He's won trophies. He's been the player that decides games for them consistently, and he has done it at the top level.
Can I just say one thing? Yeah, I had this chat with Troy Deeney actually, because I
Troy,
don't know
get
what he
on
said.
there. Troy, I see Troy at a game at Man City the other day. He wants to come on. Joe, line it up.
Yeah, I've been talking, but we're gonna have to vet him first because the things he was saying when we was talking, boy, like I don't know what he said on this podcast. We were having this chat about Mo Salah like 2 months ago, and he was just like, people don't really grow up to want to be Mo Salah. I was just like, what are you saying here? Like,
What, to
are
win
you
games,
trying
to
like
score 200 goals in 7 seasons? I'd like to
listen?
be Mo Salah.
Listen, I said the same thing to him. We need to get him to come on and explain it because I was going mad. He said he was pulling my leg, but I weren't sure.
Listen, just to show you how good he's been, Saka's had 6 seasons in the Premier League.
Whoa.
He's 120 games behind him and 140 goals behind him.
It's different though, isn't
Saka's a baby, man. Saka's a baby.
Yeah, it's different.
Saka's a baby.
Well,
Why is
it's
it?
different.
Wait,
So you want to
I
start
don't
throwing
like the way
Cristiano Ronaldo numbers in there, is it? Okay.
why is Saka always getting brought into every argument we mention a forward these days?
Because when you're
Arsenal
on top,
fans
that's
are
what
Lulu.
happens. No, it's not because we're the Lulu. It's because when you're on top, that's what happens. People start to
You're
try
not-
to
When
tear,
have you
tear
been on
things
top?
down.
Listen, bro.
We're on top now. We're on top now.
No,
We're
you
on top
finished second
93%
last
of
season.
the
The
season.
season's not finished. The season's not
Yeah,
finished.
but
Come on.
No, you have to win all of your games to go 1 point better than you did last year.
Steve, let me be real with you. Yeah, you're not in a position to
and
be
still win.
talking about us in
Fuck
2024. We
I
big
actually think Arsenal are going to win every game at the end of this season, but I don't. But I think City will as well.
we got you next week, right?
Yeah, I think you've got a
You
good
think
chance.
beating us is any level of achievement? Are you serious?
Oh, don't. Is this what you've resorted to, Steve?
No, it's
Steven
called reality,
Arsenal.
Joel. Arsenal fans want to try a bit of it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. See, I respect that from Steve. That's what I respect about Steve. He moans a lot. He's a pessimist. I know this, right? The comments always tell me this. He's a pessimist, right? He's always looking on the dark side of things, yeah, the bad side, the negative side of stuff, right? He'll always see that, right? But at least the guy's honest about Man United, his club, his team.
Is he?
He doesn't get too
Have
high.
you ever seen me get too excited and say have you ever even said or seen me say we're going to win the league?
I've
Yeah,
seen
it's a
you
complete
diss Arsenal.
It's a complete contrast, Joel.
Nah, man, I'm not having it. And on top of that, when we beat you, I want apologies from you, and I want apologies from you as well. I'm gonna have my
I just
cigar.
I just said you'll beat us. I just said I think
just
you've
in
got
the disrespect that you've shown my club this whole season. I've had to sit here and take
So
it.
if you go up the whole season where you went 93% of last season where you was top and you thought you were winning the league, we had cigars, shades, cake, the lot. If you do the same this season where you want an apology for not winning the league,
yeah,
is that what you're saying?
You don't know if we're not going to win the league yet, though. You don't know. So
okay,
how could you
if
say
you
that?
don't win the league, you want an apology for not winning the league. Just
last season, it was you guys are going to get. You're not going to do. You're going to run out of steam by October. You're going to run out of steam by November, December, end of season. If you don't do it, you're not going to be challenging again.
The date might have been wrong, but the result was right.
It doesn't matter, bro. You're still wrong.
It does because you didn't get your name on that trophy, and that's all that matters. You
Joe,
can be
can I
top
say
for
something?
37 out of 38 weeks.
Joe, you're talking to two guys here that actually want you to win it. We just
No, you
don't
don't.
forget that point. We want you to. We're desperate for you to win it. We don't want you to mess it
I
up.
won't go that far, like.
No.
Because you know what this is? This is what you call narcissist behavior. What you guys are doing right now, narcissist.
Bro, I want you to win it. I want you to. Do you know how happy? Do you know how hard I'll shake your hand? Do you know how hard I'll shake Mikel Arteta's hand to say thank you? Because I know Pep. All he's thinking about is going a step beyond what we done at our club. He wants to do 4 in a row. Do you know how much that means to him?
What we're going to do, Rio, is we're going to deny and deflect, and we're going to bring up things like 115 charges. We're going to bring up things like that, and we're just going to completely discredit everything that they've done. So
when's that going to be sorted out? Because everybody else's cases seem to be getting sorted out mighty quick, yeah? Like, I think Everton have had 2 dockings this season already. Nottingham Forest, like all those teams are getting dock points and taken off and docked again and looking at it. Let's have a look. Oh, okay, we'll go back on that one. Man City's are just getting just like.
I agree.
You know what I hope going on, Rio? I hope what's going on is that they are just getting. They're speaking to the likes of the Northwest Counties League, and they're saying, right, if we put City in here, how does that affect the infrastructure of your league? I hope that's what they're asking. I hope that's just took so long because they've got to go and find out what happens when City play RBA next year. Like that's what I'm hoping they're trying to figure out.
You get promoted, like you said to me, you're getting promoted before the show. You getting promoted?
We need to win one more, I think.
You could play them next season if the charges come through.
I think they're probably going to end up a bit higher than we are. Not much though.
Okay.
Might be
we got to get Julian Lescott on here to discuss this. Is he going to hand the medals over? Yes or no? Like,
do you think Julian's going to be anywhere near internet if that happens?
I'll be at his door, mate. Five are coming to his door, and I'm going to have my hand out at his door, mate. I'll put my hand through his letterbox and say, "Just lay it on my hand, man."
That's a good segment.
Because you think when the Court of Arbitration for Sport hearing happened, the Premier League issued these charges. I feel like in my head it was like within a couple of weeks, which makes you think, okay, well, the Premier League have got something here. The Premier League are going to look so stupid if they've hit them with 115 charges. That means there's 115 times either a lawyer or some sort of like official has looked through something and gone, there's something to charge them here. That wasn't like one instance, wasn't five instances. 115 things that they've pulled out and gone, we think that's against our rules. We think that's against our rules. We think that's against our rules. Now, they aren't guilty of it yet, but the fact that they've gone through the trouble of charging them with 115 different indiscretions tells me there's got to be something in it. Like, this isn't like one administrative cock-up or anything. Like, 115 feels pretty significant. So the Premier League are going to look so stupid if they either don't act on City or if they don't even punish them to the same level that Everton and Forest have seen this year. Like, it has to be incredibly severe. But then I worry that the Premier League, we saw what happened in Italy with the Calcio scandal. I wonder if they stripped City, which if they are guilty, that's what should happen. If they strip City, does it completely ruin the integrity of the Premier League? And do broadcasters then start saying, well, where's our value for money? You've just had a cook sport for the last how long? Like, it's a mad predicament that they find themselves in, because if they don't charge them and they don't give it them properly like they should do, everybody else that's in this league, the likes of Everton and the likes of Forest, are going to kick off like absolute mad. And they're going to find themselves in court.
If I was them clubs, I'd be sitting there and just thinking, let me just see what happens with City first. Because if they get nothing or a little slap on the wrist, I am going nuts. With 150. Do you know, a person, when I went to a court case about racism last few months ago, he had one charge. It took 2.5 years. One charge. They got 115. That's nuts. This is going to take long, man. That's why
as well.
What?
They're delaying it as well. You can tell with the lawyers and everything they're doing, they're delaying. Is a delaying tactic. They ain't even started
anyway, because the vibe was nice until we got into talking about that. It depresses me.
Well, I have to say I agree with Trent.
We're doing a live watch along of
it means a lot. It means a lot. It means a lot. Anyway, talking about City, they're out here slapping teams. Haaland getting 4 goals. Just, you know.
Yeah, but he's rubbish. He's a Division 2 player, isn't he? He's a League 2 player.
Roy Keane.
What the hell?
Beating Wolves 5-1.
How much of that, do you reckon, is beef with his old man from Roy Keane?
All day long. Roy Keane doesn't he's got a long memory. He don't even chat to Fergie at the moment still, you know what I mean? So he ain't going to be talking to Haaland. Obviously there's issues there, but even to be fair, it is family against one family against Roy. Because the way Haaland dismissed it was to say, like, I know the history, don't even chat to me about him, please. Yeah. That was the way that it seemed to come off. So I don't know. Listen, I think it was a tongue-in-cheek comment that's been like kind of, it's been run with. Do you know what I mean? I don't think obviously Roy's not stupid enough to say that he's a Division 2 player. And he's just saying there's attributes, certain things he does in his game aren't up to scratch. But I think Haaland, if he's honest, will tell you that. There are parts of his game where there is room for improvement, like his hold-up play and bringing others into the game, etc., receiving the ball in certain ways, etc. But I always say that if he was to go and play at another team, he'd have to really work on those attributes. He'd have to sharpen up his tools and get better all round. But he's not asked to worry about that stuff while he's playing at Man City. Pep is not asking him to do any of that stuff. He's just saying, be in the 6-yard box, the penalty box, ready for when the chances drop, because that's where we need you. Elsewhere, I've got it covered because the structure that I put in place will dominate everybody anyway. Do not worry. Don't need you to get involved.
That's fair. I mean, what did he actually say, Roy Keane, for context, for those that don't know? We saw Haaland yesterday being brought off, not too happy, behaving like a spoilt brat. But because Man City win the game, he scores goals, it's almost forgotten about. And then obviously Haaland said, I really don't care about that, man. Simple as. Boom.
That just shut it down quick.
Yeah, that was smart. That was clever. I mean, Haaland, Rio, if you were to do a player of the season, like Ballon d'Or flex, you'll probably go Jude Bellingham, right? But is he in that team, Haaland?
No, not this year. Not this year. I wouldn't put him in there this year. I think you flipping the amount of goals. Kane's got 40-something. Mbappe's got 40-something goals. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. I know he's got a lot of, and they've played well. Haaland ain't really played particularly well this year. He's been off the ball quite a lot, especially compared to last season. And if you're comparing him to those guys, I think he hasn't played as well as those guys. So that's I wouldn't have him in the Ballon d'Or team this year. If you're playing as one number nine, I'd have Kylian or Kane ahead of him this season.
That's fair. What we're going to do, guys watching, we're going to be doing a Premier League team of the year, not in this episode, but make sure you stay tuned because, you know, we've got a few things to discuss. Next on, before we talk about the big boys do what they do, Arsenal, it's boring, isn't it? Phil Foden winning Footballer of the Year. Rio, do we owe you an apology as Arsenal fans, yes or no? Because we were livid when you first opened your mouth. Livid.
No comment. I don't want to get involved. The facts are there.
So, like, talking about Phil Foden's going to be on this channel, by the way, in a couple of weeks.
You know what I just need to say, though? You got Bellingham out here with Ballon d'Or shouts. You've got Foden that's just won Football Writers of the Year. It don't mean that they both start for England. People need to get out of this same bullshit that we saw with Lampard, Gerrard and Scholes. Are they 3 good players? Yes, they are. Doesn't mean that they all have to start because then you get a dysfunctional team. You need to pick a team to win a game, not pick the so-called best informed players and they'll figure it out. It's bullshit. It doesn't work like that.
I think it's hard.
Foden and Bellingham could play together easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be able to. But like, what you got to do is you got to pick your strategy and then pick the players. I think England forever have always just picked the players and then tried to bend the strategy towards the players that they've got available to them, rather than coming out with a system and a formula that's going to win games and then picking the players that can play that system.
Mate,
no,
6,
I think you're right.
8, 10. 6, 8, 10 in a 3. Declan 6, Bellingham 8, Foden 10. Bruv, slapping up teams.
But Mr. fucking sparkling water, ready salted crisp is going to want to pick 2 6s, and then he's going to try and squeeze Foden in as a winger, and then you're going to have Saka as the other winger, and you've got Harry Kane, your entire forward 3 wants to come to feet. You've got no in behind threat whatsoever. You know, this is what I'm saying. You've got
Steve, I am with you. Steve, I'm with you on that right there.
There you go. And that's what's going to happen because that is an informed forward 3. So I've seen so many England 11s this season where people have gone, that's your forward 3, Kane, Saka, Foden. And you can't argue that all 3 of them have played well. But every single one of them has, actually, Saka doesn't really too much, but all of those teams have someone that goes beyond. And you can't have all 3 of them coming at the feet. Because if Rio, as a centre half, you should know, surely. If you've got all 3 players that are playing coming to feet, how easy is your job?
Yeah, it's much easier. That's why the Barcelona team was so good. The 2 wide players played high and ran behind all the day long. Messi comes short to feet. Like there was always one or the other in a team. It was never, if all 3 players are coming short, us as a back 4 can condense the pitch so much because we can be so aggressive in pressing you from the back that we're not worried about what's behind. The moment you give us a question about running behind, we have to take a step back, which then gives you more space in the midfield areas. I don't see that happening with if you play those 3, they all want the ball to feet, like Steve said. I agree. That's where Rashford comes in. That's why Rashford, no matter what his form has been like this year, I still think he gets on the plane because he's one of the only ones out of the players that are going to get on that plane that will run behind.
I think you got Bowen. I think you've got Gordon. I think there's options there. I don't think it necessarily has to be Rashford, but it has to be someone that's willing to stay on the shoulder.
No, but I think about the people that he's definitely going to start. I don't think he starts Gordon or Bowen. Rashford's one of the ones that have potentially got a chance to start. He's the only one that's going to run behind consistently.
But and then that's the problem with the gaffer, then, isn't it? Because he's not looking at, like, Gordon's put up some excellent numbers, excellent performances. Yeah. Same with Bowen, and the style of play that they deliver from a wide area, I think, is exactly the tonic that England are looking for, especially international football, where people want to maybe slow it down a little bit. You got players that have got that internal tempo, like a Gordon, like a Bowen, like a Rashford, if he was in form, but he's not. If you can get them on, and you've got, like, Harry Kane is a playmaker, real underrated playmaker, and he drags defenders with him. And if he doesn't drag defenders with him, you just left an elite playmaker in space. Problems. He can find those players that are getting on the run, but you've got to have someone that's going to threaten him behind to drag the rest of the defense away. Otherwise, I think you're just going to, like, that France defense, if you're not going to run in behind it, is going to just, they'll be texting if they'll find it that easy. Like, and what, you're going to try and flood midfield against France? Behave.
No, not at all. But you just go back to the point. Do you agree with Foden being player of the season, by the way?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Has to be.
I don't know if there's any more major standout shouts. I don't think.
Second on the list, and don't forget this is Football Writers, so there's also like a story written attached to it. If you're looking at Foden's story from since he's been in, like, a few players have been out the team, him coming in, carrying the team, especially for parts of the season, is deserved. Second on the list was Declan Rice.
Where's Rodri on this list? Because I think he's chipped in with goals and assists this season, and his level of performance hasn't dropped. Is it just because people expect it from Rodri? It's unspectacular, no one's asked, because I think he's been just as good.
But again, this is what I mean by writers. I think there's also an attachment to the writers thing. It's like player, but then there's also a story.
Yes, 100 million, isn't it? Got the big transfer going there, being able to kind of carry that transfer is a big part of it, isn't it? If you were just going to go on performance, I think Rodri might just have snuck it.
Yeah, I think Cole Palmer, in my opinion, if they were higher up the league, if he was at least challenging for top 4, it would have to be Cole Palmer for me. You know,
I think I'd probably still put Ollie Watkins ahead of Palmer.
No way. That's a shout, but I don't think so, man, because I feel like at least with Villa, you've had a few individuals really, like, pulling their weight. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be the goalkeeper, McGinn, whether you got players there that have actually, even the manager, you know, he's part of the story. When it comes to Cole Palmer, bro, without him, they are a dud. They're a
£1 billion team that's just relying on one fella. Yeah, makes sense.
Steve's mad, you know. Steve's mad.
Not wrong, no, am I? They got a midfield worth 300 million, and we're like, oh, aren't they doing a good job with Cole Palmer? What?
No, but you know what he's done? Do you know what I think the biggest story for me around Cole Palmer, regardless of teams or whatever, it's a young kid who could have been really comfortable and stayed where he was at City and knows that he's going to probably get about 25 games, 30 games on and off the bench, etc., and pick up some silverware. Many players would have stayed. I'm telling you, the badge, what it means to be the top of the league, definitely challenging. He took risks across the board. New city, new teammates, new club, a new manager, right? And a real big question mark over where the club's going to be because of the transition for owners and whatnot. Didn't know where he's going to go. And also, what him as a player, he doesn't know where he's at yet. He's never gone out and been abroad or been to another team and tested himself outside of the safety net, maybe, of a Man City who are always challenging, going into games where the team's always dominant of the ball, etc. So there's a lot of variables that were going to be question marked. For him to take that risk and go and say, you know what, I'm going to test myself and then deliver in the way that he has. Hats off to him, man. Massive.
Yeah. Big player. Big boy player. Rate it. Moving it on to someone who won't be winning it this year. I mean, maybe we might change his opinion when he wins the league. Saka, back on form. Pardon? No. He wasn't even on the list, to be honest with you. But Saka.
He was injured walking up to the podium.
No, man. I thought that's what you were saying. Sorry, who's third then? Sorry.
I can't remember who's third. I need to get the list. But I think it was Rodri, actually. Yeah, no. Again, goals and assists in the Prem, 25 this season. 16 goals, 9 assists. For someone who's had what we consider a quiet season, it's his best stats to date, and there's still games left. I'm just saying that not because anyone's criticizing him, but
I don't think it's a quiet season for him. I think he's just been really, really steady. I think that his numbers have been really strong. I don't know. I just think that I think he gets tired with the same brush a little bit, like people are trying to put on Mo Salah now, because he's not like he ain't taking over games and dribbling past people all the time and doing the razzmatazz bits in the game that are Instagrammable. People are going, but he ain't really playing well. He does an unreal job for his team. He stays high, he stays wide, he does what the manager wants in that sense, and he always asks the fullback the question: "Can you stay with me? You're going to stay with me all game?" He comes inside a lot. I still think he needs that variable in his game a bit more to be able to go on the outside and then deliver the right choice of pass or shot with his right foot. I've seen it in glimpses over the season, but I want to see that more consistently. I think that's where Mahrez was top, where Mahrez 50-50 go right or left on the outside or come inside. I think if Saka can bring that to his game, it'd be so much harder to play against. But I think he's had a really, really solid season in a team that's challenging. And for his age, I just think the consistency, the amount of games he plays, I don't think he should really be questioned in that sense.
I agree with you for like 90% of it, 80% maybe. I do think there were some games, Rio, where he had completely gone missing. If I'm honest, there was some games where I know that the information might be different against Man City, for example, away. I don't think you expect him to completely play his normal game, but you still expect some sort of Bukayo Saka, man. There's had some games.
In the game, you say that, yeah, you say that he put a ball on the plate across the 6-yard box. He should be getting smashed in the back of the net. It's not his fault.
But that happens in every team, though. That happens in every team.
I'm saying, yeah, it's just the small margins. If the number 9 does his job there, you're talking about, you don't even mention that Man City game as a negative.
I hear what you're saying, Rio, but I'm saying there are some games. There are some games where, and listen, I'm the biggest Saka fan here. Let's be honest. Like I'm here arguing with Pereira about Rodrigo, which we're not going to mention again anyway. But I have to be honest. There are some games where he's been a little bit quiet and he kind of hid. And we're talking about his all-round game here. Kind of hid behind
a big comment that
No, a few games. I'm honest though. That's my boy. I can say raw here.
I don't think he didn't hide though. I just think the game didn't happen for him. It's there's the nuances on these words.
Talk about the City game. There's a few games this season.
I'm just saying, I think to say someone hides is a big statement. If a man
what word should I use?
What
word should I use then? Because I'm trying to make sure that I'm.
Well, it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen for him. He didn't play well in those games. He didn't play well then. But hiding,
we'll go with that.
It's very different.
I'm willing to learn.
It's just Arsenal fans in a nutshell.
Yeah, I'm just telling you from a professional player's perspective. You said to him, man, listen, I saw you in that game. He was hiding, man. I swear you'd get a very bad reaction. Yeah, it's an insult.
Okay, but you know what? Point taken. There were some games where I didn't think he played well enough, and I do think that some games, the goals and assists, is the word covered okay to use? Covered the performances a bit.
Maybe, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
That's it. But besides that, you're right. He has had a solid season, especially in the last couple weeks.
That's regular. That's regular. You have players in your team who, if they're not providing goals and assists, you go, not sure what he does. But then sometimes they'll go on a run of 7, 8, 9, 10 games where they're getting a goal and an assist, or they'll get a goal or an assist, or sometimes they might get 2 goals and an assist, and you go, I can't drop them because we need that. That's the sort of stuff that'll get you over the line. So, ultimately, Messi and Ronaldo and Lewandowski have skewed what's meant to be productive good seasons. If you ain't getting a goal and assist a game, then this FIFA generation thinks that you fucking turd. Whereas I remember when back in the day, if you was a 20-goal a season striker, that meant elite.
But also, there's only so many players, there's only so many players that can, when they don't score, they still have a huge impact on games. Like Wayne Rooney, there's only Wayne Rooney's, really. There's not many of these guys. Harry Kane does it now. Harry Kane can have a bad game in terms of not scoring a goal, but he will create chances for others. Rooney would impact. Tevez is another one. They'd impact the game in other ways through Tevez, through work ethic, closing people down, being a rash, a nuisance. Rooney a bit similar in that sense, or being creative. Like Suarez is another one. There was other ways in which they could impact the game. There ain't many of those players around now. Like a Salah, as great as he is, and I think he's world class still. But if he doesn't play, if he doesn't score or assist, he's not really impacting the game like those guys I've just mentioned. Doesn't mean he's not world class. It's just different.
Yeah, which is opposite to Mane. I hear what you're saying. Back to the Arsenal game. Declan Rice, man of the match. This season, as look, we're not saying Rodri's not good. We're not trying to like put them against each other, but he's had more goal contributions, more big chances created, interceptions, blocks, tackles won, and clearances than Rodri. I mean, Declan has come in and, bro, he has put his stamp on that team. Sometimes when you close your eyes and you don't look at Odegaard, you think, is he the captain of the team?
You know, I would say, I know Steve wants to say something here. I'll just say quickly. When I was a world record transfer fee once in my life. And the pressure that brings is immeasurable. It's huge. Anyway, anything you do, anywhere you walk, people don't even have to say anything to you, but you have a subconsciously, you feel that people are looking at you and thinking about and talking about the price tag. Wherever you go, whether it's to the local shop for a loaf of bread, whether it's going, filling your car up with petrol, walking down the shop to your missus or whatever it is, you just think all eyes are on you, and all they're thinking about is talking about is the transfer fee and expectation. And then you walk out onto the training pitch, expectations. You walk into the canteen at the training ground, expectations. Away grounds at Emirates, expectations. Everybody's anticipating £100 million like big record performance. So everywhere you go, people are expecting world class, above average all the time, elite always, beyond your wildest dreams performances, whatever you do, almost. It's crazy. That's how you end up like thinking. And it'd be interesting to see if Declan feels like that. But it's a huge amount of pressure to go with that. And then to go and perform the way he has, and really to go in there and kind of the way he plays, chest out, give me the ball, dominant figure, and really again. And we talk about Jude Bellingham buying into to Real Madrid, and then the players and the fans buying into him on a lesser scale probably, but they've done the same thing to Declan. The fans love him immediately. The players you can see really have warmed to him as well, and he's a real integral part of that squad. So for that reason, yeah, I understand why the football writers will have him at number 2 in their rankings this year, because I think his impact has been huge.
Yeah, Steve.
I think he's been good. I think because it's playing for Arsenal, people have overhyped it.
This guy never disappoints me. He never disappoints me with his Mr. Like, let me just slow that down.
You know what? I saw Declan the other day. He was mad happy to see me, and he goes to me, "Where's the shades and cigar, man? I love it. Where's the shades and cigar?" I was thinking, Deck, man. The guys on
So they'll be back out when you lot finish second next week.
I said, Dex, man. The guys are Bible 5. They're not feeling it, but I'm glad you are. He goes, "No, I love it, man. I love it." So I'm going to keep carrying it on because of Deckers. But yeah,
I still think you overpaid for him. I know, look, you lot are dead happy with the price tag you paid for him because you've got a good player, but I still think you did overpay for him.
How can you talk about paying for players?
No, it's true.
Because I've got experience in overpaying for players.
Bro, Steve, can we edit that out, please? I just don't want that in there.
You be talking about overpaying for players.
Whoa.
Let's carry on with our business, man.
Because I know what overpaying for players looks like. See the last 10 years at my football club.
Yeah, but you don't know what it looks like to pay for.
We got people on a free transfer we overpaid for.
Your best player right now is from the academy, bro. What's going on? You got your players.
And we still probably try to find a way to pay for that.
Just tell me when.
Hold on, whoa. What are you talking about? Bruno's our best player.
May know.
And actually, he was pretty good value for money, all told.
Just tell me when Marcus Rashford is dropping the new rap mixtape. That's all I want to know.
What do you mean?
Just let me know. When's it coming out? When's it coming out?
Why?
Because he's got more rap concert. He's got more concert appearances than goals and assists this season. That's what I'm talking about.
Leave it up, bro. Okay, no. Oh my god.
Let me know when it's out. I'm gonna listen to it.
You got music coming out for real?
No, I mean,
Oh,
I don't think so.
Oh, really?
well, I
He's
thought
just
that-
that he seems to be getting photographed a lot at concerts.
Oh, I got
Looking
ya.
like he's going on stage, by the way, as well. Looks £1 million. Probably worth £1 million what he's wearing.
More chains than a rapper. Right. So what's next? Let's keep it real, man. Villa, even though they lost, doesn't matter. Champions League secure, right?
Yeah, Villa done a good job, man. I told everyone United could have finished 5th, right? Although it ultimately wouldn't have been enough for teams like you lot and us phoning it in Europe, just not making that 5th place a Champions League spot no more. But 5th we could have done, right? But United have just consistently decided that we don't fancy that this year. So, like, it was there for the taking, absolutely there for the taking, and we've just absolutely phoned it in. But credit where it's due. Villa have done real well. Like I said, Ollie Watkins, I think, probably deserves a little bit more love than he's getting.
Yeah, I agree.
He's
Big
the
shout
man,
out
though.
to Ollie Watkins. Yeah, big
I
shout
don't
out
think
to
he starts in the Euros because I think it's just being hipster if you decide Harry Kane shouldn't be starting. Unless you're going to mix it up and go with a formation that you could play Kane and Watkins in, but they haven't experimented with that, so then it's just not going to happen. So
We're going to
he'll
do
go
a
to
show on
Euros.
that. We got to do a show on that England pre Euros.
Yeah.
I've got some good. I've got some thoughts on that as well.
Yeah.
Because I think it'd be nice to mix it up, to see what a 3-5-2 system would look like. I think it really suits international football. It probably suits some of the personnel that's in the England squad as well. I mean, like, we've seen Saka be effective as a wing back. Could we see him do that again on the international stage? You know, I think as an attacking wing back, I think you got options. Anyway, yeah, I think Villa have done real well. It'd be interesting to see what they do with Champions League money, with Champions League pull, to see if it helps them get anything over the line. Are they able to maintain it? Because you often get a team that sort of exceeds where everybody put them once, but then once you're known, repeating that seems to be the most difficult thing. So if they're able to,
one thing he'll have though, Steve, I think in his which would be a positive for Unai Emery, is that he's been around Europe for a long time. So in the recruitment area, I don't think he'll find it as hard as others maybe who are new to this level for a club wise to recruit players.
Yeah, it's then, can the lads do 2 games a week to the same level? And you know, that's really where Newcastle fell off as well with the injuries that they've had. That's hurt them this season. You know, we all thought, Newcastle will be here to stay, but you know, was that how hard Eddie Howe worked them last year? Was that, you know, one of the reasons for Ten Hag with how hard United were worked last year, why we've had the injuries? Because, by the way, what are we doing in training, Rio? Are they jousting each other or something? Like, why have we got so many injuries?
I think you can say it may be a bit of training, but I just think sometimes it's bad luck as well. You got to look at the training, the nutrition, the loads that they put through the training sessions. Yeah, that's got to be looked at, but also, like, sometimes it's down to bad luck as well. I mean, but I would definitely be looking and analysing through data all those areas: the nutrition, the loads through training, the amount of training, time in training, and also game time and game load. Is he putting too much on players through too many games? I don't know. It's difficult. That's the job of Ineos, to go in there and to check out that data and to find out, because it has been a problem. We can't have this repeated next season.
I like that. Ratcliffe went in last week and was like, this place is dirty. I like that. Some serious standards. Shout out to Kieran McKenna. Goes and takes a job in League One. Ipswich are floundering. He doubles the win percentage in the first couple of months of the previous guy that he took over. So you can't say that he took over a decent team, because he absolutely didn't. They were floundering. Then he brings them into the Championship, where he's competing against teams that have got like parachute payments, Premier League players, all that sort of stuff. Gets them promoted. Easy, like it ain't nothing, playing a brand of football. And like I'd worried a little bit with Company last season, I do worry if he's able to replicate that in the Prem, so it'd be interesting to see what he does. But he's managed to get them all the way in. Now, these were the players that, according to the leaks that were everywhere at the time, didn't like Kieran McKenna's training sessions. This guy is a novice who doesn't know what he's doing. You lot are novices. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Look at the way we play. This guy clearly knows what he's doing. Same with Michael Carrick. The amount of disrespect Michael Carrick, Kieran McKenna got under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and then both of them are going and proved, actually, we do know what we're talking about. It tells me that the issue is with the fellas that are lacing up and standing on the pitch. All the way through this, all of those leaks that are coming out, nonsense. You lot chat all sorts of shit. So when we bring in a manager like Ten Hag, We ask for him to bring some discipline to the football club. From the outside, it looks like that was happening. It happened with Cristiano. You can question the methods and all the rest of it, but it happened with Cristiano. It happened with Rashford. It happened with Garnacho. It happened with Varane. And it's happening still ongoing with Jadon Sancho. You can't allow the manager's discipline to bend. It doesn't work like that. It has to be a black and white thing where you're either...
I agree. But I just think the manager... I agree, but I just think the manager was wrong in the first place. That's the issue. It's the root of it more than anything. But anyway, we'll be here all day long.
I think you are right, actually, and you clip that out because I'm not going to say it very often, right? I think that you're probably right. And I think that the reason for all of this was that he's overplayed Antony because that's his record signing at the club. And it's almost like a manager has to prove that they've made the right decision in signing those players. So I think there's a political reason why Antony played more than Sancho, because it wasn't performance related, let me tell you that. And Sancho's probably correct to see his ass about it, but that doesn't justify the public slamming of a to and then refusal to do what he's done in training.
You're right there, but
there's a Benny better myself.
You're right. You ever gonna say I'm right, Rio? Or you just gonna keep taking Steve's side?
I've said you're right loads of times, bro. Don't try it. Don't try it.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. We got to clip it up.
Only on Arsenal stuff that I really get on you.
I don't know. Anyway, shout out to Leicester as well. I know that was a little bit longer, but you know what? Just mate,
Vardy.
What a career
in the league.
Wow.
Him not going to Arsenal was the best move he ever made, you know.
He needs to retire there now, right? I don't know what his plans are. I don't want to see him in any other shirt.
Yeah.
No, he's got to play another season in the Premier League, surely, no?
Yeah, one more season in the Premier and you're done.
Yeah, I want to see him get a couple of goals in the Premier League, man. It's nice.
It'd be sad if you'd see him at like a Villa or a West Ham or something after this. That is a genuine Leicester.
The only club I'd like him to go to now, if he was going to leave, would be Wrexham.
Why?
Just because it's just got that Hollywood feel, and he's had a bit of a Hollywood career, I think. The way it's
the only one I'd like to see him go to is Stocksbridge.
Why?
Because he's done it from the bottom up. Let's do it from the top down.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
That makes sense.
And he wants to reverse that.
Either that or Fleet Town for me.
Think how much money that would put into Stocksbridge.
Who?
One season at Stocksbridge. How much money would that do? Because he can clearly still play football, by the way.
Wait, Steve. Where? Fleet Town?
Yeah.
No, not Fleetwood. Oh, is that what Joel just said?
Fleetwood. Is that?
Yeah.
They already got paid. They got £1 million for him. They're all right. Take him to Stocksbridge, because I think Stocksbridge sold him for a Twix and a bag of nets. So, let him go to Stocksbridge, play a season at Stocksbridge, put some dough behind there. I know he's got his own academy thing that he started going as well. Go and play a season at Stocksbridge and call it a day. Otherwise, I don't want to see him wearing any other team's kit.
Well said. Listen, I have to let you guys go.
Wait. No, when did Jamie Vardy start playing professional football or start playing football? Let me just have a look, because I think you got to let me land on this one as well, Joel.
Go on.
Right. So he started playing for Stocksbridge Park Steels in 2006. So since the last time Arsenal won the league, Jamie Vardy played non-league, became the first non-million-pound player, came all the way to the Premier League, won it, broke records, got relegated from it, got promoted back to it, all before Arsenal have won the league again. His entire career exists in the vacuum in between Arsenal's last Premier League title and the one that they're never going to win.
Wow.
Sounds
what a way to finish 5-5, man.
Nearly 700 games. Well done, Jamie Vardy.
I can't believe United fans have gone this low, man.
Wow.
They're noisy.
We're talk about our own game. We haven't got a centre half. Rio's on the emergency call-up list for tonight's game.
Yeah, it's unreal. They've got no left back. They ain't got no left backs. Centre
half. Quick one. Predictions tonight. Quick one. Predictions against Palace.
Eze and Elise are going to roll it back like York and Cole and absolutely batter us. That's what's going to happen.
No, they're going to roll it back like Zaha and Balassi and start taking the mick.
Yeah.
I hope they don't. Who's
Rio? Genuinely, who's centre half? Is it Amrabat Casemiro?
I reckon it's after Casemiro can't play. I put Scott McTominay there. I'd actually play Onana there.
McTominay and Casemiro centre half.
This number 2 keeper in net, Onana centre back with Scott McTominay. That's what I
You
do.
lot are shameless.
Right, do you know what? We're making jokes here, but like that might have been considered because there is literally like, who else is it going to be? Is it Louis Jackson, the young kid from the academy? They're sitting there in the team talk this morning. He's going, mate, fuck.
Listen, guys, we
Well,
have to go. We have to wrap this up. We've got another guest coming on. So it's going to be a big week, the build up to United versus Arsenal. Make sure you stay tuned, keep on watching, and enjoy Viable 5 and the 5 channel this week.
Before we go, there is something that I think definitely needs mentioning, and it's someone whose name doesn't get brought up a lot, but César Luis Menotti passed away yesterday. And I reckon a lot of our audience isn't fully conversant with who he is. But if you appreciate Pep Guardiola, if you appreciate Bielsa, Sampoli, like if you have got any sort of love and affection for those players, or Maradona, Ozzy Ardiles, Kempes, all of these guys exist because of what Menotti did. Like he was like in a way like Johan Cruyff was a pioneer for a lot of European coaching and style of play. Menotti for South American, particularly Argentinian football, was an absolute icon of the game, and he passed away yesterday. I think he delivered the World Cup for Argentina in '78, and just was an unbelievable sort of visionary when it comes to football. I think when Pep Guardiola went and did his sabbatical that he went and did, I think Menotti was one of the people that he went and hung out with to sort of like ratify what he was thinking about when it comes to play. So, you know, playing through those number 10s, the likes of Messi, the likes of Maradona was a Menotti thing. So, you know, obviously shout out to his family and everything like that. But yeah, he passed away yesterday. So sad times for everyone in Argentina.
Well said. Well said,
I
Steve.
think that's a good way to end the show. But yeah, guys, like I said, keep on watching and we will be back soon. Peace.